Okay, now you're going to take it. Okay, now you're going to run with it. You're going to take it.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It's 7:38 a.m. Here's Splash. Hey, Splashy. Good morning. Here's Simba. And here's Boo. And it is raining out. And it is cold. It's only in the 30s right now. And I relaxed in bed a little bit this morning. I got home last night in the evening. And I had plenty of time to scoop all the cat litter, give the cats fresh water. And I also gave them some canned food because they've been eating out of their feeders. This is the food that I put out for them yesterday. So it was 2 types of canned food. It was some tiki cat sardines in lobster consomme. And then it was also, I think, some kind of Friskies. Oh, Friskies, turkey and giblets, shreds. And then there was crunchies in these 2 coffee filters. And they also still have crunchies in some of the feeders. The snack feeders are still out, and there are still some crunchies in the snack feeders. So when I got home yesterday, there was still a lot of crunchies in their meal feeders. I don't know, they didn't really eat their meals that much, but they also had crunchies in their snack feeders. I just wanted to make sure that they had plenty of food. And also when I left like some plates of food and then some crunchies like this. So it's kind of a good thing that they didn't eat everything, because if they ate everything, it would have been too much. So it shows that they have self-control when it comes to crunchies. And when I got back, like all the food that I had out for them was gone. So they had been eating off of that. I had only been gone for 36 hours, so it wasn't bad. But it was the first time that I've been away in months, like since Stella passed away. And when I got home, there was some crunchy vomit in the hallway, and then there was crunchy vomit in Boo's room. But the crunchy vomit in Boo's room also had a hairball in it. Hello, Boo. You're rolling around like a happy boy. Happy boy, Boo. And then downstairs, the Lucky 7 like really enjoyed their crunchy feeder, and I gave them some canned food overnight also. I don't know if they ate it, but I just gave it to them as an option if they want it. Let me tell you what happened while I was away. So I got to see one of my friends that I haven't seen since like last year, probably like 4 months ago. And I was talking to her about like what happened to Stella, what happened to Sammy, and we were just discussing it. And I was telling her, you know, don't go to this emergency room for animals, like this veterinary emergency room. There's one near you. There's several of them on Long Island. And I was just telling her, you know, just avoid it if possible. And I told her the reasons why. And she told me that she had taken her cats there in the past. And then she told me about what happened to one of them. So she used to have 3 cats. And then over the years, 2 of them passed away. And she's down to 1 cat. And I remember when the other 2 passed away, like she told me about them. And, you know, it was really sad. And I had sympathized with her because, you know, I'd been through Hydrox passing away and Ditto passing away, and it's never easy. But I didn't really know all of the details about what happened to the first one of hers that passed away. So she was telling me that she actually took it to this emergency room, you know, the same chain that Stella was brought to. And they did an exam on her cat. And she said that several red flags went up when her cat was there. One of the things that she mentioned was that when they were examining her cat, she felt like they were being way too rough with her cat. Like normally when a cat goes in for a vet exam, like the vet will like palpitate their body. The vet will take his or her hand like underneath the cat's body like this and feel like their organs. You know, they'll feel like the kidneys, the bladder, stuff like that. Like they'll usually get behind the cat. They'll usually get behind the cat and then put their hand like up and under there and feel the organs. Well, she was telling me that when they were doing that, she was like, why are you being so rough with my cat? She said that they were like really jabbing her cat. And she was like thinking to herself, that's not the way you're supposed to do that. Like, don't be rough with this cat. Now, she said her cat was a little bit overweight at the time. So she said like, you know, they were trying to feel the organs maybe through a layer of fat, but at the same time, you know, it raised a red flag because like, you know, don't be so rough with my cat. So for it to raise that red flag with her, like they must have been really rough with her. And then they said that her cat needed fluids and they gave her cat fluids and they gave her cat more than like 200 milligrams of fluids. And at the time, that did not raise a red flag with her. But what happened was, a few days later, she ended up bringing the cat to like the normal vet for another exam. And what happened was the vet that she went to said that, you know, you're not supposed to give more than 100 milliliters of fluid at a time. And when she heard that, that was like the next red flag. She was like, wait a minute. They gave her like more than 200 milliliters in the emergency room. So that was a concern. Here's Simba. And then what happened is that her vet found out that her cat was accumulating blood around her heart, like, or around her organs. So I was like, oh, that's what happened to Stella. She was accumulating fluid around her lungs. And she's like, no, it wasn't fluid, it was blood. She said that she was, I forget the term, but she was taking some of the liquid out and it was definitely blood. And that's when my friend realized that, wait a minute, maybe this is a result of how the cat was being, you know, too aggressively handled in the emergency room because, you know, outwardly the cat was fine and, you know, the cat should have been fine. And like, where was this blood coming from and why was the blood there? So it was kind of a mystery. And what happened was she ended up having to put the cat down. When I heard this, and I know she gave me more details than I'm relaying here, but at the time I was just kind of, there was a lot going on and I was trying to process everything that she was telling me and I was kind of in shock and disbelief. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You're talking about the same exact company, but like years earlier. These harmful business practices have been going on for years, that kind of stuff. So it was just really sad. And at the same time, I didn't want to say anything that was going to make her feel like worse about what happened to her cat. And also my head was just kind of trying to process this, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, what are the chances that you are going to tell me about what happened years ago to your cat? Like, I know that she lost this cat, that her cat had passed. I just didn't know all the specifics about like where she took it and all the details which she was telling me about. So, I mean, what are the chances of that? Like, what are the chances of that I'm going to know somebody else who had like a similar experience where she brought her cat to this emergency room and then, you know, days later she takes it to her normal vet and her normal vet's like, well, it has this problem and, you know, it's not going to be able to survive it. And the problem was most likely brought on by that emergency room. So I feel like I'm just uncovering more and more information. So then what happened was yesterday, the day after I had this conversation with her, I was still out on Long Island and there are a few locations of this emergency room out there. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do more research and get more evidence. So I went to 2 locations And I picked up all the business cards so that I could research these vets and see when they were licensed and how much experience they have. And at the second location that I went to, they had a blackboard. Now, usually, I don't know if all these locations do this, but I know some of them do this. They'll have like a board on the wall. It'll say which doctors are like on duty, and then it says which nurses are on duty. But this blackboard I noticed also said which assistants are on duty, and then it had like something underneath that. I don't know if it was like secretaries or like receptionists or what, but I know it definitely had doctors, nurses, and assistants. So I said, I'm gonna ask about this. So I asked the receptionist. I said, I was kind of playing ignorant, and I said, so on this board here, this is who's on duty right now? She's like, yeah. And I said, so these are the doctors, which means the vets, and then where you say nurses, is that the vet techs? And she's like, yeah. And I said, are those licensed vet techs? She says, like, I believe so. And I said, well, who are the assistants? I said, are the assistants licensed also? Are they licensed vet techs? And she didn't know. So she says, you know what, I'm going to have someone come out and answer those questions. It's a good question. So then it appeared that one of the vet techs came out to talk to me because I believe her top had her name that said vet tech on it. So I was asking her, and she was like, yeah, all of our vet techs are licensed. And then I was like, well, what about the assistants? And she's like, well, they're usually in school to be a vet tech. So they're usually, not licensed, but they're in school to be licensed, which to me means you have people working here that really don't have proper experience, proper licensing, and I don't think that they should be working in an emergency room. I mean, this is not just like a regular vet where people are taking animals for checkups. I would understand that. So say you have a regular vet, people are coming in for routine checkups, then okay, if you want to have an assistant there who's training while they're in school, then that's one thing. But when you have an emergency room where people are coming in because they need emergency care for their animal, you should not have people working there who not only don't have experience, but who are not licensed to at least be a vet tech. I'm sorry, you should not. This is like a critical care unit. You should not have people working there who don't have experience. So I feel like I got more evidence out of that. I also recorded the conversation. So I have that as evidence. Let's see what's going on downstairs. So there's still quite a bit of the canned food that I gave them last night. That's fine. And this is their automatic feeder. I shut it off last night, but there's still some crunchies on these trays. They ate all the crunchies, so this has to be cleaned up later. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Ziggy. Let me show you what my friend gave me. So this is a piece of art. It's actually a jigsaw puzzle that she had put together. And then they mounted it on a board. And Sammy's checking it out. And it's really cool. It says, it's the ladies who don't love cats that are crazy. And she had showed this to me. She showed me a photo of this, like when she was working on it. And I was like, oh, that is so cool. I love that saying because, I just hate how people who have cats are always vilified and, people call them crazy. So I thought it was really cool. So she gave this to me and I'm going to hang it up down here for the lucky 7. And what I'm thinking is I might start a wall of cat art because I do have quite a bit of cat art and I might start hanging it on a wall, making like a grouping of it. But it would have to be on a wall where, the cats don't jump up. I'm not going to hang it on this wall. It would have to be on a different wall. Sammy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't scratch it. 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 That's art. Don't mess up my art. Get off. Get off. I still have a nail in this wall, so I just hung it here. I think it looks really good here. So here's Sammy's wheel. There's the feeders. And then this is right above the feeder. It's 12 p.m. Look at what's going on here. That's Nancy and Richard, but there's another cat there also, underneath the papers. This is a new weekly thing that I do that the cats love. So we get like local advertising, like store flyers once a week in a little neighborhood newspaper. And I take the flyers and I put them here on the rug, and the cats enjoy like playing with them, laying on them, and tearing them up. And Sammy's laying underneath them. And this is Nancy and Richard. I don't know what they're doing. It is 10 a.m. Here's Simba. He's eating his breakfast. He almost ate his entire breakfast today, which is great because recently he's only been eating like half of his breakfast or like a little bit more than half of his breakfast, and then having some crunchies later. But I feel like today we're finally starting to get back to like a normal routine. The cat's routine was so disrupted because of, what happened with Stella, but then also with what happened with Sammy. And, what happened with Sammy went on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and that really disrupted everything. Here's Boo. He's eating on this cat tower. Sometimes he likes to eat on these cat towers. I don't know why. But he's actually eating the raw food that I gave him this morning. He has only been wanting to eat canned food recently. He wants to eat canned food and crunchies. And the canned food that I give him, like he wants it to be really soupy or gravy. Like he wants the canned food that has a lot of gravy. And then he licks all the gravy and then leaves everything else. And then what I have to do is I have to put everything else in like a mini blender with some water and make like a puree with it. And then he'll eat that. But he eats the dry food, no problem. And also if I give him chunks of raw beef, he eats those without any problem. Like he'll eat plain chunks of raw beef, no problem chewing it, nothing like that. He'll eat the crunchies, no problem crunching away on them, even though we do know that cats swallow the majority of the dry food that they eat whole. But he's just been really fussy with his food lately. But today he did eat some of the raw food. Maybe he ate half of what's on the plate. Let's go check. Look at this. Look, Boo, you did so good, Boo. Look, he ate almost all of his food. Almost all of it. You did so good, Boo. What a good boy. So today, when I made their homemade food, this is turkey and chicken, a blend of turkey and chicken. It's homemade raw food. But then when I mixed it up for them, I added a hard-boiled egg, which I put through a food grinder. And then I also added half of a can of sardines, so they get their omega-3s that way. And I think maybe that's why Boo really liked it, because he's been eating a lot of sardines lately. It's 10:41 a.m. That was Sammy. She just walked away. Now that's Goldie and little Eva, and they're watching Cousin Oliver eat breakfast. I put some food out for him. They like to watch him through the back door. And that is a screen door. Do you see there's like a white screen, and this was installed on the door, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And it zips all the way to the top, and there's the rest of it. It's rolled up on the top. So what you do is you unroll it, and then you zip it up all around the sides and along the bottom. As you can see, it goes all the way down there and then along the bottom. It has 2 zippers, and it works great for the cats so far. Every time I zip it up, they're pretty respectful of it. They don't try to like tear it down. They haven't tried to jump on it or climb it, as far as I could tell. Sammy has tried to like claw it. She needs it, but so far it's held up. So far, no one has been able to tear a hole in it. They've been respectful of it, especially when it is zip shut. And it's been working out great. I mean, it's definitely a really good alternative to putting up gates. Like, I used to put 3 gates in the door, so I would have gates all the way up so the cats couldn't get through. But to be honest, this is just it's really easy to use one of these. And they have different kinds. So I got this kind because I knew it, rolls up to the top. But they have another kind where it zips to the side versus, zipping top to bottom. It zips from side to side. And this is held on by Velcro. So it's really strong Velcro, and you put it on the screen door portion, and then you put that onto your door frame, and that's how it is mounted. So hopefully when I take it off, it's not going to rip off all the paint. I'm sure it's going to rip off a fair amount of it, but we'll see what happens. Right now, it's been working well, although sometimes I do forget that it's there and I forget to use it. And at night, I'll just shut the door. But the goal of this was to just use the screen door at night. So that way, the cats could see each other. So one beneficial effect that the screen door has had that I didn't even think about is it keeps them from banging on the door at night. So before the screen door was here, when the door was shut, they would be able to just bang on the door, they'd get their paws under it or bang on it. But now, because the screen is here, they can't do it, and they haven't been banging on it. So that is so helpful in helping me get better sleep, because they used to bang on the door around 4 a.m. Nancy especially. She'd be like, I want to come upstairs. And I'd be like, no, not ready. So I'm just going to ignore you banging on the door. And she'd bang on it for a good half hour or so. Hello, Goldie. How are you, Goldie? I'm cleaning up the kitchen from their breakfast. It's 3:30 p.m. Look at this. That's Simba. He's laying in these blankets. This is where I slept last night. My bedroom gets really noisy in the middle of the night. My neighbors have really loud cars, and at all hours of the morning, the cars have been waking me up. So I was I wonder what would happen if I slept in this room, if I would still hear the cars, because it's farther away. And I didn't hear the cars at all, which was great. But I was woken up 3 times by Simba, and 1 time by Simba and Splash. So it was twice by Simba and once by Simba and Splash together. But look at Simba now. He's all comfy. You're all comfy in the blankets? You're comfortable, Simba? You look so cute. You look so cute, Simba. I'm glad you're happy and I'm glad you're comfy. And look who else is in this room today. It's Boo. Hello, Boo. Boo was getting a drink of water in this room and Nancy was howling. So I was like, what's going on there, Nancy? And then she went away to play somewhere. And then I was like, Boo, you want to hang out in your room today? Because he loves his room. He hasn't been in here in a while. You want me to open the window more? So today it's sunny, but it's really cold. It's only like 43 degrees out. How you doing, buddy? Ooh, big stretch, big stretch. Your fur's so long. Your fur's so long, Boo. It's getting so long. The cats were brushed this morning and combed. Right? Okay, I'll leave it there so you could smell air. I'll leave it so you could smell air. It's about 4:30 p.m. and look what I have here. This is a spider. This is a new spider because I haven't seen any of Sammy's spiders for a very long time. I don't know what happened to her spiders. So when Grandma and Grandpa were in PetSmart a little while ago, they had a whole bunch of these. And I haven't seen these in any stores around here. So I said, pick me up like 6 of them so that I have extras. Because we go through them. So I'm going to give this new one to Sammy. And we'll see what she does with it. I'm going to leave it on the wand. But I'll leave it here with her. I fully expect her to take it downstairs. But right now, I mean, she's playing with it normally. Like in the past, when I've given her spiders like this, like she's just she's gone straight into killer mode. Like crazy killer mode. But right now, she's just enjoying it. All right, Sammy, you want me to give you a spider? Here you go. You could have this one, okay? That's a new spider baby for you, okay? You could have it. Okay? I have to go finish my work. These are some treats I just gave her. Okay, enjoy your spider. You don't want it? You don't want your spider baby? No? Okay, go get the spider baby. Go take her downstairs. Take her downstairs, Sammy. So it ends up if I walk around with the spider, then she goes crazy. Like, I was going to hang it here on this tree. It's like stuck on the tree now. Hold on. Hold on, Sammy. Let's get it unstuck. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you're going to take it. Okay, now you're going to run with it. You're going to take it. She just ran downstairs with it. It's 6:30 p.m. Look at this. So now Boo's laying on his day sofa. I haven't seen him on here in so long. How you doing, Boo? Here's Simba. And I need to shut the window. I need to shut the window because it is cold. And I just looked outside. Look at this. So the landscapers were here a little while ago this afternoon, and they put the cedar mulch around. Hopefully it's the right cedar mulch because last year I specifically requested the natural cedar mulch. The year before they gave me that really stinky, horrible stuff. So what they did was it looks like they moved the statue of Hydrox and Ditto out from where it was, and they moved my flower pots around and everything. I don't mind them moving stuff around. I just wish they'd put it back where it was. So I have to go check on the mulch later. It looks like the right mulch, and the fact that I don't smell that really horrible polluted stink from, the standard mulch makes me think it's definitely the natural stuff. But I've been editing a video for the past few hours, and super long video, but I want to make these vlogs, like the grief vlogs after Stella passed, as complete as possible. But what I would like to do, I do want to go out and run an errand or two, but I need to eat something before I do that. So that's why I said, let me get up, stretch my legs, eat something. Hopefully I'll make a salad, and then I'll be able to run out for a little while and then come back and feed the cats. It's 7:30 p.m. I just put a plate of food out. It's right there for Cousin Oliver, a.k.a. Ox. And the mulch Doesn't smell like cedar. Like I'm not getting a strong cedar aroma, but I'm also not getting like a really bad chemical aroma. So I think it's definitely some kind of natural mulch that they put down. I need to clean out the water bowl. It has some debris in it. It is so cold outside right now. It's only 40 degrees. And tonight it's going to get down to 30, which means I'm going to plug in the greenhouse heaters. I unplugged them for a while. I need to plug them back in because it's going to get really cold. Here's Sammy. She's so nosy. So her new thing to do in the afternoons is she lays on one of the kitchen chairs, and every single time I walk into the kitchen, she ambushes me for some kind of treat or food. Right, Sammy? Oh, here's Nancy. Hello, Nancy. Here's Boo and Simba. I just went outside and I cleaned out the water bowls and I put fresh water in the water bowls. Here's Boo. And I moved some stuff around. And what I realized is that it stinks like smelly chemical mulch outside. The reason why is because my next door neighbors got their mulch done the same day that I got my mulch done. I guess it's the day that the landscapers do mulch. So it stinks outside and I have a headache, and I was wondering why I started not feeling that great this afternoon. And I just I don't have a strong headache. It's like a mild headache, like discomfort, you know, kind of in your head, like almost like a sinus pressure type thing. And I was wondering why, but now I know why. It's because of that stinky mulch outside. But I checked the mulch in my yard. Like I literally went to 2 different locations. I picked up some of the mulch and I smelled it. Now my mulch does not have the stinky smell. My mulch has no smell. But I specifically requested the natural cedar mulch, which should smell like cedar. Like last year when they put it up, the whole yard smelled so good. It all smelled like cedar. This year it doesn't, but at least it has like a natural smell. Like it has no smell, but my neighbors next door have the stinky chemical smell, which I'm not happy about. And that smell usually doesn't go away for several days. So not enjoyable at all, right, Simba? Tomorrow is supposed to be a little bit warmer than today. Like today got to be like around 43 degrees. Tomorrow's supposed to be maybe like 48. I was planning on sitting outside for a little while tomorrow because it's supposed to be sunny, but if it smells that bad, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I don't know why I'm so sensitive to the smell of this like really stinky mulch, but I can't stand it. And that's the nice thing about like having my previous neighbors that never took care of their yards, because I never had to deal with that. But now, because I have neighbors that do take care of their yards, now I have to deal with these kind of things. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.